What is going on, guys? Welcome to week number 4 preview video. We're going to kick this one off with the Skeeters recruiting board. No brother. He's empty. He's not here. His chair is empty. There's nobody there right next to me. So I got nothing. I got nobody. Nobody's here with me. Just you guys. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the Skeeters recruiting board, and then we'll also be covering Broken Arrow's recruiting board. They actually had a pretty solid win against Pittsburgh in the last week. So, and then we'll get into some like season standings, conference standings, things like that, just so you guys can kind of get like a reset button on where everybody's at, because we do have some losses thrown in, so on and so forth. We'll go over some previews for week number 4, and I'll make my picks, and I'll show you guys where you stand with your picks. So, all right, let's talk about the Skeeters. Matt Bradica, Levittown, New York. Somebody said, I think it was Matt. I think you actually said that Syracuse is the GOAT school. Somebody in there said that Syracuse is the GOAT school. But hey, you know, Donovan McNabb went to Syracuse, for those of you guys who don't know that. But we can see that the Skeeters are kind of trailing the Orange for the number 1 safety here by 775 points. ACU, Ardmore, Nebraska State, we're all trailing too, so it's not that far-fetched to think that Syracuse is going to nab this guy, and it's going to suck because Bradica's a really good player. But we might have to let him go to his hometown team for sure. Quentin Kleck, the kicker, Skeeters are in the lead for there. Orlando Goodlove, we're going to pull back. We're officially pulling back if we're the Skeeters here. We're down 915 points. Alabama is killing it right now. McAllen is down by 505. Denver Tech, 885. So a team that loves to run the football. Orlando is like, nah. So it's kind of an issue if you're the Skeeters. You know, you like to run the football too, and it's just not seeming like it's going to work. Sidney Hines, number 11 tackle. Not really considering a whole lot of schools, but yeah, we'll take it. I think he likes the purple teams, you know, just the purple logos with Midland and the Skeeters. But, you know, we're killing it here with him, up $2,000. So, you know what? We might as well pull some points off of there and spend them elsewhere. But you know what? Orlando Goodlove, it's just not going to work, guys. Even if I wanted to put some points on him, it's a waste, honestly, really. Jameel Carter, we've actually put some points on him for quite a while now, and we're just not making any headway at all. So I'm going to give this one more week because I feel like he's going to be a great player for them. Let's go after like Stephen Bryant, and I say that because now we're going to get an update, and we'll go after Palmer too. Balmer, not Palmer, but we'll get an update here with Broken Arrow to see how many points they're spending on Stephen Bryant. But I think that Bryant might be a guy to look out for after Wingo. So like the falling out after Andre Wingo, the beast. So we'll have to see what they're going to do. But I think he might be a good player for them because he does have that power type of tendency. Jay Balmer down 775. So, you know, Maryland's taking the lead here. But hey, we're okay. We should probably be able to land Jay Balmer. We do need a tight end. Brad Jackson, the strong safety, looking pretty good there. Bob Marquardt, 50 points. You know, we're not really hitting that too hard. Tim Lehrer, not doing there. Dan Brown, a lot of these guys in the high 60s. You know, we're not really hitting. We're trying to hit you guys first, like Max Blanchard, Eaton Collins. Yeah, power back. I think between him and Stephen Bryant, like that's going to be huge for the Skeeters. Bobby Brown, we're in the lead for this free safety. C.J. Jones, seems like he's going to be a pretty good guard. Ole Miss, LSU are scouting him, trying to nab him. Matt Jenkins, you know, down $1,000. We're still in second place, so I guess it's worth it to keep some points on him. But Bud Light Gunner, yeah, out of Oakdale, Louisiana. Yeah, nice lead there. Ricky Williams, we're in the lead for fullback there. James Stewart, down 17, but we're still in second. So we got to keep it there. Matt Thomas, doesn't seem like that's going to happen, so on and so forth. But a lot of these guys, you know, we're not really considering yet because we're trying to really hit it home and hit it big time with the Skeeters in this recruiting class. I think it's a time for them to step it up and move forward. with their program. So try to hit on some of these 70s and, you know, keep it within the realm of possibility, like we're going to get them. And if not, you know, hey, we'll pull off just like we did with Orlando Goodlove. So I'm actually going to remove him right now, and there you go. So goodbye, Orlando Goodlove. I wish it would have worked out, but it's not going to happen. All right, so I know I said earlier in the video that I was going to try to do Broken Arrow, but because he's not here, Broken Arrow is one of his teams, so I can't really, you know, talk too much about Broken Arrow, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk about Amarillo instead, and that way in the next episode he can kind of give you guys an update. But look at this. So Amarillo is also not in any sort of range for Orlando Goodlove, so he's going to have to get pulled off of Amarillo as well. Frank Caldwell, this doesn't seem like this is going to work out either, down 710. You know, we're trying to fight against Odessa and McAllen. It doesn't seem like that's going to be a good idea for the number 2 guard. But look at this guy. This guy's interesting. Morris Campbell, a 3-star. He's looking at Purdue, Arizona, UConn. But he's number 20. He's number 20, so he's not bad. He's really not bad. So I like this guy. Number 13, Slade Morton as well. He wouldn't be too bad of a get either, but you know, this is kind of a battle that you would rather get into, right? Between Odessa, Texas, down 1,200 points. This is a battle that I would rather get into with a 77 overall player versus that 79 overall player. Plus, we have kind of a fallback option here with Morris Campbell. It just seems to make sense to me rather than, you know, trying to spend, well, basically 700 points on the 79 overall player. Then you got 445, 520. So that's easily over 18, 19 grand right there. Like, it's just kind of pointless, really. It can be spent elsewhere, which in fact we did. We spent it on Freddie Bolden, so we're going to put 320 on him, trying to go to work, trying to battle with Midland and McAllen, so some Texas heavy hitters. I say that because, hard hitter Freddie Bolden. He'd be a good player for this Amarillo defense. Put some character back on the map here. Patrick Clark, number 54 athlete. Not bad, not bad. David Sledge, we do need a tight end, so we put a lot more points on him than we did last week to try to get up there, to try to vault over some of these teams. Trevor Jones, 885. John Hunter, 4-star wide receiver, number 6 out of Nederland, Texas. He would be a nice get too. Chad Randall, we're in a battle with Ardmore. Kawika Johnson, you know, he's considering Maryland. A lot of these guys are considering Maryland. It's kind of weird. Todd Parker. It's actually not Todd Parker, the subscriber, so we just think it's kind of funny. Jerry Bracken, the run-stopping outside linebacker, down 1,900 points, but we're still in second place. We're still in second place. You want to keep holding on as long as you possibly can when you're in second. If we were down like 5th, it wouldn't make sense, right? You'd pull off for sure. Trevor Gibbons, this outside linebacker, seems like he's going to be a pretty solid player. We're in a battle with Ardmore there, 1,250. Charles Bryant, hanging on against Wazoo. We can nab Charles Bryant for sure. In the lead for Lance Roberts, a pretty good defensive tackle. So, you know, you guys can kind of get the idea here. It's basically we're trying to build Amarillo on the line, offensively, defensively, and then go for like really skilled type of players here like Stephen Howell, but this doesn't look like it's going to work out either. We just really didn't make a good impression on him off the bat. So I'm going to pull off of Stephen Howell for Amarillo, and then we're going to apply some points here elsewhere. I think we need to get it onto Slade. We need to get onto Slade Morton right there. We need to really hit home on that line and go from there. So there's Kyler Rivato. There's a little update on him. 990 points. Unreal, guys. So he really wants to go to Army. Really wants to give his service. He was born in Canada, but he really wants to give his service to the United States military. Don't know what the story is on that, but it's pretty funny, kind of cool. Lewis Morgan, we're in a pretty good spot to overtake ACU. Jake Lewis Jr., pretty good spot again. So we're hanging in there with some pretty good teams recruiting-wise, for sure. Cartier Thomas, he's really digging Virginia. Hopefully ACU can kind of take the lead on that. But that is going to be your recruiting update, guys, for both of these teams. Next week, not sure who we're going to do, but that'll be his call. So we'll probably have 2 of his teams for next week. So let's get into the top 25. Let's get into the conference standings, injury report, things of that nature. All right, so top 25, here we go. Things really haven't changed too much. Alabama still 3-0. They beat Old Dominion 54-7. So guys, don't take into that account the overall ratings there. Again, that's just because we were trying to eliminate the players that were supposed to be going into the draft, like Minkah Fitzpatrick, those types of players who might have been juniors. I know that Josh Rosen was still on UCLA when he actually declared this year for the NFL draft. That was just so that we were kind of in line with our draft class for Madden 19, and plus the storylines for this year. Like, this is supposed to be the 2018 NCAA football season. So this is just taking into account the depth chart of these teams. You know, teams like Alabama, Ohio State, USC, you know, some powerhouse type of teams we're taking over in Super Sim, just so that they're not like, so we're kind of in control, but we're not, so that they're not losing to like Old Dominion or stuff like that. So you guys kind of get the idea there. I'm just going to keep reiterating that, just so if there's any newcomers here, you kind of get the idea. But we can see that ACU is still in 4th, Ohio State still in 3rd. So like I said, nothing's really changed other than Washington beat. Is this? Oh, this is Oklahoma. This is Oklahoma. So, wow, 41-7, beating up on Oklahoma. Yowza. So they moved up 3 spots from 9 to 6. USC stayed steady. Florida State. Stanford moved on up after beating number 11 Oklahoma State. Ardmore, we moved up from 11 to 10. So I like what I see there. But again, that number 10 is kind of a false narrative there because we're not playing that good. McAllen, 1-1, but they're still in the top 15. I think that that's fair. We got Florida, Oklahoma, big game against Ardmore this week. Wisconsin moves up 1 spot after beating Big Ten opponent Maryland. And then Tennessee moves up 3 spots, beating Western Michigan. Midland State was unranked last week, and now they're moving up to number 25. We got others receiving votes. We've got Camu. Camu is receiving votes, but nobody else. Nobody else after that. Players of the week. Jamar Smith, all NCAA, 5 total touchdowns. Chase Lucas, 5 tackles and an interception. That's pretty light, in my opinion. That's really light for a defensive player of the week. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, let's take a look at the Big 12. Jordy Williams, forced fumble, interception, 3 tackles, 3 assists. I'd give it to Jordy Williams at that point. I mean, goodness gracious. Montana Flynn, some Odessa love. We have not really seen a whole lot of Odessa type of players getting in on Players of the Week, but he had a really big game against UTEP. 30 of 44, 363, 5 touchdowns, 124 rushing yards. For a quarterback like who doesn't really run a whole lot, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So congratulations to you guys on getting Players of the Week of the Big 12. Injury report time, guys. Maurice Stevenson out for 3 weeks. He's not the starter at center, but it's still depth nonetheless. It's gonna kind of hurt McAllen. And then when we look at Midland State, we got Vance Munoz, Brett Kingery, still gonna miss some time. 8 weeks, 3 weeks. So the left tackle and the halfback, it's gonna hurt Midland State's offense in the coming weeks. Nebraska State, Odessa, Shreveport. Nothing to report on here because we still got Plunkett's out for 9 weeks. He's going to be pretty much done for the entire season, pending on if Shreveport gets to a bowl game, which it looks like they are going to, and then nothing else to report. So that's your injury report. All right, guys, so we got NFL update. Jedd Carmichael making his first NFL start for the Miami Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill was very, very bad against the Tennessee Titans, losing in a blowout. But we can see Carmichael on his first pass of his NFL career goes out there to Devontae Parker, and he looked pretty darn good right there, if I do say so myself. So 1st and 10, Carmichael in a 5-step drop yet again, and he finds Devontae Parker again for another first down. So 20 yards already on 2 passing attempts for Carmichael. And then here's Mike Gesicki taking a big hit there to the right. bunch formation here. This is a bench play, but look at this play by Kenny Stills. Nice catch down the sideline and nice touch pass by Jedd Carmichael. He usually does not do the touch passes very well, and he can show a little bit of mobility there on a 3rd and 5. And you guys were right. If you go into slow mode here for Super Sim, it shows you the plays. I didn't know that from your guys' comments, so I thought that doing it slowly only like showed stats like really slow. But this is kind of cool. I'm going to end up doing this for a lot more of our updates for our players, and you can see that Carmichael is still keeping the team in the game here despite a 9-3 game. So this is a pretty big opportunity for the Dolphins to take a step forward franchise-wise, and they get a W here against the New York Jets on the road. Teddy Bridgewater just wasn't enough for the young gunslinger Jedd Carmichael. Pretty good for his rookie debut, 94 passer rating. Like I said, 164. His longest pass was a 24-yard strike, 15 of 21 for 71%. I would say that that's a pretty efficient day for a rookie quarterback, and he looked pretty good. All things considered, guys, I just think that the Jets defense, for whatever reason, played very well against the Dolphins. You know, I mean, hey, a lot of that's got to do with the quarterback, and I think Carmichael, you know, was trying to test the waters out, trying to feel it out a little bit. Like, you guys got to keep in mind he is still a rookie, but he showed some flashes there, and I'm actually pretty impressed about how he performed. Now let's just go ahead and check out the rest of the league and see how our other rookies did. So we got the Colts and the Redskins. I'm actually anxious to see how Amari Manuel did. I keep wanting to say Stoudemire almost. But we got 7 catches for 50 yards for Amari Manuel. The receiving after the catch, the run after the catch is 28. The longest reception he had was a 13. So he's, you know, pretty good. Pretty good. I like what I see out of him right now. He's definitely one of Andrew Luck's favorite targets thus far. So I like that. Gotta like that. Who else we gotta check out? We gotta check out. There's nothing really. There's nobody else that's really got a starting job other than, let's see, the Giants. So Robert Bishop and the Giants, only 200 yards of passing offense. So Dallas defense kind of shut them down a little bit. Had an interception, 200 yards, 85.4. That's, you know, it's not great, but 17 of 26, 65%. I mean, you'll take it, but he knows he can be better, and I think that he'll come out firing here next week for sure. So if you guys go to week number 3, we've got, and you know, I'm only focusing on a lot of the guys that are the starters right now. You know, I could technically focus on some of the players like Matt Rexford, you know, for the Bengals, but you know, he's not a starter yet, so there's almost like no point. He's probably going to get like 1 to 3 tackles in a game or something. You know, until these guys like take over starting roles, we're going to be focusing on those types of players. Raiders at Dolphins, we'll check on Carmichael again, and we will also take a look at Giants versus Texans. So Bishop against Deshaun Watson, so that one should be pretty fun. Noah Jones against Santonio Farmer. You guys remember Santonio Farmer was a 3rd-string linebacker now for the Chiefs. He played college football out at Kansas A&M. And Noah Jones is a 3rd-string running back for the 49ers, played at ACU. So I don't know if he's going to get in, but maybe we should check on Myron Eckert too, like that wide receiver from Midland. Let's check on Myron Eckert here for the Rams, because I know that's where he went. I don't know how I remember these things, but I do. Let's go to receiving here. Let's take a look at him. And I don't see Eckert. So there he is. No catches. Nothing doing here for the Midland State product. So there you guys go. So that's your little Madden recap, and we will go into next week, and we'll just keep tabs on those 2 quarterbacks. We want Bama. We want Bama. That's exactly what a lot of the Shreveport players are saying, the fans are saying, the student section. It's going to be crazy for them traveling. We got Andre Wingo and the offensive line for Shreveport trying to kick some butt here against the number 1 team in the land. So basically what we've got here, we got Redmond, Woodrow, Carter, Greenway, Falk, Cummings is the tight end. And then we got another, oh, that wasn't Wingo, that's Lawson. So basically what this team is focused on in practice is just going mano-a-mano, straight up the gut, right against you, gonna pound you in the face and say, you know what, try to stop us. Because seriously, we're Shreveport. We've got one of the best running backs in the country. Look at how he just dives for that extra yardage. Andre Wingo was quoted as saying, again, outside of him saying, we want Bama, basically saying, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the challenge. I'm ready to take on the #1 team in the country and really put this team on my back. So basically, Wingo's ready. The line is ready. They're not really trying to do any sort of trickery. Might do some audibles here at the line, but yet again, look at this. This is just another run play, but just a different look. Probably implement some motion as well. That was what the coach, Rob LaDuca, was saying as well, trying to get some motion going, because this Alabama defensive front is going to be really hard to beat, especially when they're in like this over type of formation here. We've got a 4-3 plus and a 4-3 over. So it's going to be tough for them. So if they bring that blitz like they did there, look for some slants, look for some short type of plays here. Don't try to challenge them through the deep ball. You can't do that. You don't want to do that with the secondary at Alabama. They're going to take advantage of Nate LaDuca's kind of a weak throwing arm. But we can see that this offensive line is going to have their work cut out for them. Shreveport's got a pretty dang good defense, so it's a good one to practice against. It's a good one for Andre Wingo to get used to. And we've even got some moves here. Nice. He's ready, guys. He is ready to kick some Alabama booty. All right, guys, let's take a look at the picks. It's about time we get into that. Jacob Canatella is still holding on to that lead with 26 points, but Big Gio is right on his tail. Look at this. He got everything right. He got 11 points correct this week, but had that Amarillo game. A lot of guys had that Amarillo game. Nevada. Let's see, who picked Nevada here? Gaming Go Hams. You are clairvoyant. And Peter? Nope. Matt Bradica. You picked Nevada too. So, yeah, so you guys that picked Nevada, you were doing really good here. Actually, Gaming Go Hams went perfect. And I believe he's the only one who went perfect, because Matt, you picked Pittsburgh. You went with that upset. Although it wasn't really an upset, I guess, because it was kind of a toss-up here between these two teams. But you guys can see the standings here. Heel Boy, you're trailing by 2. Nothing really to worry about there. Thor's Chris Hemsworth and Brian Street. You guys are also tied for second place. And then we've also got the 23-point getters with Sequestral and Diabolist. You guys are in the races here right now. I mean, don't think that you guys are out of it, especially if you're down here. Don't think you're out of it, because like we said, conference points, you get them right, there were 2, I believe, so we're doubling them up. So the big thing here is, once we get into conference play, just kind of survive, just kind of hang around for a little bit, and then once we get into that conference play, that's where the money will be made. No, I'm not offering money. I'm not offering cash prizes. So don't get me for false advertising. So let's go on now, guys, to the previews for week number 4. All right, guys, time for the picks. At least my picks. Let me know who you guys have in the comment section below. I'm going to basically be doing this one live. Not going to be doing kind of the fade in and the fade outs. Just doing it live. Midland State, 3-0 against SMU. I think this one's a pretty easy one to call. I know SMU's got a pretty good offense in this game. Like, the rush offense is the 42nd in the country. Total offense is the 23rd. Points per game, they're putting them up there. Definitely well above Midland, 39.5 to 37.7. But you got to consider the teams that they're playing against, right? SMU played against FCS East, and they put up some points against Texas A&M. So this is not out of the question to pull off a W, but I think it's just too easy. I think that the Sim Gods are going to like this game. A+ against a C. Give me Midland State. I think that even despite the injuries to Brett Kingery and their left tackle, I think that Midland State is going to take care of that game. Denver Tech against Iowa. This one's a huge game. Now, it might not seem like it in the box score here in the little preview section. A+ team. Denver Tech takes care of business and cleans up easily against Iowa as far as these rankings go, but guys, consider this. Kirk Ferentz took this job as an offensive coordinator for a team that doesn't do what he has ever done, right? So why would he undermine the head coach in his direction and his idea and his belief and his tendencies for how to run this offense for that, right? What is his reasoning, right? Why would he want to take the job here at Denver Tech? Now, pretty interesting that they have to play Iowa, don't you think? Is this a big conspiracy theory? Is Iowa going to win this game because Kirk Ferentz starts calling some plays where he knows that his Iowa personnel that he had last year on defense can handle? They do have a B-plus defense, so it's not like they're a pushover on defense. I still think Denver Tech's going to win. I think that that's a little too far-fetched to think that this is all a conspiracy. But, don't be surprised if something crazy happens. Ardmore at Oklahoma. So we go on the road to face an interstate rival type of team. This is a pretty much a marquee game for us. This is going to tell the tale of the direction of the season. If we can move to 4-0, beating an Oklahoma team, beating Boomer Sooner on the road, number 16, they just lost to Washington. It's gonna be a stamp on our season for sure. Because we also, guys, consider we also have to play McAllen, ACU, and Denver Tech. We gotta play McAllen on the road. We gotta play Denver Tech on the road, and now we gotta play ACU at home. So these games, nothing is coming easy here in the next few weeks. You guys can see this, right? This is Oklahoma's. But we go to Ardmore's schedule here. We get at Oklahoma, Denver Tech at home, ACU at home, and McAllen on the road. So I misspoke right here. But we get number 2 and number 4 at home. It's going to be a tough schedule here. So pretty much we have to win this game. We have to win this game to have any hope that our season's going to mean something and get to a meaningful bowl game. I think our backs are kind of weirdly put. I think that our backs are up against the wall in this game. If we lose this game, I could see 4 losses on the season, which is obviously not going to get you into a pretty prestigious bowl game for sure. So I'm going to take Oklahoma though. I really think that Oklahoma has everything going for them in this game. They're at home. It's a national broadcast. It's a tough environment. I just don't think Ardmore has proven me anything, even with playing as them. They just really haven't gotten it done. 35-31, inched out a victory. Georgia Tech, win by 4, win by 4, win by 5. All you need is a field goal, right? All you need is to win by 1. But I don't think we're going to squeak out of that one. ACU against Buffalo. This one's not even a contest, guys. Don't even try to trick yourselves. This is ACU all the way. No preview is needed. But maybe they might want to sit Stoudemire and get some Peter Vajic in the game. Honestly, don't risk losing Stoudemire to injury because you got some games coming up here against some pretty tough opponents, namely Denver Tech on the road, McAllen on the road, Ardmore on the road. You don't want to lose Amari Stoudemire, or not Amari, but A-Money Stoudemire to injury. He's running all over the place. He's very fragile. We've seen that in the last couple weeks here, him getting hurt mid-game. You don't want to lose him, so might as well get Peter Vajic in the game because if in case he does get hurt against a meaningful opponent, then at least Vajic can come in and he's got some experience to his name and he can guide you to those victories, those much-needed victories. Odessa State against New Mexico. Don't be tricked on this one either. This one could actually be pretty close. Odessa, number 7 in total offense. Look at that pass offense, though, for New Mexico. They're not even trying. So this is kind of a tale of two teams here. New Mexico likes to run. And then we got Odessa who likes to throw, but hates to run. So it's kind of weird. It's a very, very weird matchup, but the defenses are kind of around the same type of caliber. But that offense in Montana Flynn, think that's the deciding factor. It's just really, it comes down to the New Mexico Lobos' ability to run the football 210 yards per game. That is a crap ton of yards. And guys, if they can control the clock, if they can limit Montana Flynn's possessions, then I could probably see a little bit of an upset here. But at home, you know, things are lining up for Odessa. You know, they're having a really good season thus far. I'm going to go with Odessa in this one. McAllen against Louisiana Tech. Nothing really to see here too much. I think that Marcus Rodriguez gets a bounce-back game, just like he had last week. I think that that continues. Carson Jackson goes off. Rico Gathright, Marlon Malloy Jr., the two running backs, I think that those guys will do well. Dustin Weber, the other wide receiver, Paris McMillan. I think that these guys are going to roll in this one. Don't trick yourselves with that pick. Little Rock against Troy. 2-0 Little Rock against 0-2 Troy. I think that this one, yet again, goes to a Big 12 team. Just I think Little Rock has some mojo going, some little bit of moxie, some confidence going with Gunnar Rivers, the freshman. I think Little Rock takes this one, not because of their running offense, but because of their throwing. They're number 13 now in the country. Look at that. You just put Gunnar Rivers in there, and look at that. Insta offense. He's like that instant oatmeal, guys. Just boom. Just add water. Oh, Rivers. Get it? I didn't even do that. I didn't even mean that. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Rivers, just add water. Insta offense. I love it. Nebraska State against Nebraska. Pretty tough matchup here for the Prairie Dogs. I got to go with Scott Frost's Nebraska. Even though Nebraska is really struggling in real life, I think that this game goes to Nebraska. I just don't think that they can stop that total offense, that passing offense. Their secondary has been very suspect. They do come up with some turnovers, though, even though the turnover differential is 0. So Cameron Willis, whoever is playing, Shanoski, Fitzsimmons, whoever is going to be playing quarterback for Nebraska State in this game, you're going to have to limit those turnovers. Keep the ball on the ground, limit that offense, and then maybe you can pull off an upset. But on the road against Nebraska, you know, I think this one goes to Nebraska. It's kind of funny that my brother and I are both playing interstate rivals this week, so pretty big matchups here. Amarillo against Arizona, two 1-2 teams. Kind of middle of the road, B+ to B-. You don't really know who to pick here. I'm probably going to go with Amarillo just based on overall rating alone. I think that defense for Amarillo, you got to get it going. It's not too good right now, but look at the rush offense for Arizona, number 95 in the country, so they don't really run the football. But the secondary for Amarillo is pretty good. Number 34 in the nation against the pass, and that's exactly what Arizona likes to do. So it's gonna be pretty close. It's gonna be pretty close. You got one team on one end for defense that likes to stop the pass, and then you got one team who likes to throw. It's basically gonna be mano-a-mano, but I'm gonna go with Amarillo in this one just based on overall alone. I think that they have what it takes to get it done. Shreveport and Alabama. I'm forced to make a pick here. Holy crap. 8 o'clock game. Primetime game. Goodness gracious. Don't trick yourselves here with the overall rating, please, because I just explained that in the very beginning of the video. But the 410 yards of rushing offense per game, that is insane. Absolutely insane. If you guys want my pick here, I'm probably going to go with, what the heck. I'm going to go with Shreveport. I got to pick my Skeeters here to take down Alabama. I think that what they have going on with that rushing attack, I think that they're putting people in the right places. Their run blocking scheme is just working with the sim gods. And guys, Alabama, hey, you are on upset alert. You better bring it. They're at home though. It's going to be a tough game for Shreveport, but I think with everything that they've gone through up until last year, where they actually took the step forward, I think that they're ready. I think that this is a bar test. I think that they're really going to find out what kind of team they are and where they stand as a school, as a program, as a football program. I think that this is going to be a really good father and son type of head coach and quarterback type of tandem here with their man, Andre Wingo. I think that Shreveport is ready for Bama. Let me take the Skeeters in this one. That's where I'm going with. Camu and Bowling Green, you got to go with Camu, right? Just that offense, that rush offense, 256. That's number 10, guys. Number 10 in the nation is 256 yards per game for running offense. Unreal. Unreal what Andre Wingo and the Skeeters are doing right now. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Pass defense, number 11. Pass offense for Bowling Green, that's what they like to do, but keep in mind they have been playing against some pretty weak opponents here. Let's see, Bowling Green, well, not really weak here. They put up 31 on Alabama, so that's a good sign for Shreveport, but then against Indiana, they beat Indiana. That's not saying too much, 35-13, so Camu has definitely got to watch out for that pass offense for Bowling Green, but again, I think just with that rushing offense that they've got, I think they can kill some clock. They do pass, defend very well, so I think I'm going to go with Camu in this one to move to 3-0. We got Broken Arrow as the next matchup against 0-3 Miami. I'm going to take Broken Arrow in this one. I just think that the overall rating is just really too good for Miami to handle. And honestly, I think Broken Arrow is the team to watch out for here. They're the dark horse team for sure. If they can move to 3-0 and head into conference play next week, they're going to be sitting pretty here. Actually, they get one more week. They get one more week at Tulsa and then Midland. So if both Midland and Broken Arrow are undefeated at this time, we got two dark horse type of teams going to be squaring off. It's going to be really, really fun to watch that. So, guys, that's going to be it for the picks. Leave your comments and leave your picks below. I will read them, as always. And make sure when you guys get the notification that I liked your comment, that means I've officially gotten your picks registered and into the spreadsheet. Sometimes YouTube is being weird with comments. They're not really showing me a lot of your guys' comments. Like, I have to actually search for your guys' names for your comment to actually come up. I've even done it by top comments. I've done it by newest first and try to find your guys' picks. So let me know if I'm not getting your picks in the standings correctly, and I'll try to get that fixed up for you guys to start earning some credits and earning some points on your guys' selections for this contest. So I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, peace.